Taurus, Libra, Virgo, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is a collective reading for you. So we've got some big energy on the table. We have three major arcana: the Hierophant reversed, the Hermit, the Sun reversed, and then we've also got the Nine of Wands in here. So we have Taurus energy coming up, Virgo energy coming up, Leo energy coming up. Hi, Leo. Maybe you're here too. Sun, Moon, Rising. So the feeling that I'm getting here is that there is a confining structure that you are in the process of breaking out of. And this might be relational, this might be related to school, to work, to your belief system. Maybe some of you are like exiting the church or coming out of old ways of seeing the world that are really rigid and confining. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're beginning to trust your inner guidance and not rely so heavily on the words of the people who have sort of taught you how to see the world. And that's like for better or worse. Like that could also mean that you are beginning to trust yourself to the point that you don't have to rely so much on your wonderful teachers, but it could also be that you're beginning to trust yourself and really divest from ways of seeing the world that have been influenced by people who were either ignorant or fearful or hateful or brainwashed in some way. This could look like a shift in your political views, a shift in your ethics and your philosophy and the way that you see the world in general. But what I'm feeling here is that you've started to sort of reject some stuff. And that could be like family of origin stuff too, or it could be maybe like structures and relationships that have felt confining to you, where you're needing to reimagine and sort of revolutionize them. And again, that is coming through the process of self inquiry. The Hermit is a card that calls us inward, that helps us to see our truth more clearly. And in order to do that, sometimes we have to back away from other people. We have to kind of go into solitude for a little bit in order to hear that voice. We have to maybe turn off external noise and stop tuning in so heavily to the guidance from other people if it's distracting us from getting to know what's really within us, from not attaching, but from connecting to that wisdom. The Nine of Wands coming up here feels like you're getting really close to closing out a cycle here. We are on the cusp of like fully closing out the nodal journey with Taurus and Scorpio that's been occurring for the past 2 years since November 2021. So this is a really big shift. The North Node and the South Node have already entered Aries and Libra, and they've been there since July of 2023 this year. But this weekend, if you're watching this in real time, this weekend, October 28th, marks the end of that journey. And I did post a longer breakdown of eclipse season and kind of what that means. So go check out that video if you're curious after this. But basically, it feels like you are very much, you're closing in on the end of completing a big cycle in your life. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is a spiritual cycle. This is a cycle that has caused you to evolve in a lot of ways. And while it's been transformative in all of these beautiful ways, I think that you're caught up looking at the shadow. And I say this in part because I actually rewatched that eclipse video that I posted. And I recognized that when I talked about my own experience these past 2 years, I focused on the really hard stuff. And I didn't mention all of the beautiful personal unfolding and growth and healing and like self-renewal that and connection and like all of these magical experiences that have also colored these last 2 years for me. Because although it was really painful and disruptive in a lot of ways, it's also been like coming out of the cocoon and seeing the sun for the first time in a long time. And so you may be caught up there too, where you're focused on kind of the darkness and focused on the shadow and focused on maybe what hasn't gone right. And that may be a sort of defense mechanism. Like you've developed a tendency to focus on that stuff because it feels self-protective and maybe it feels wise. Maybe leaning more into pessimism has felt wise to you. And it's a way to kind of like not get your hopes up too high. That's something I've been going through too, is like, I'm going to try to not get my hopes up too high because if it falls flat, then look at how disappointed I'll be or whatever. But I'm really getting here that there's a call for you to open up to love, to open up to joy, to open up to connection and celebration, and to actually celebrate yourself for everything that you have gone through, pushed through, learned through, healed through, evolved through, especially these past 2 years, and to take time to really document that. Like, document the ways that you've evolved. Consider the person that you were in November of 2021 and how different you are today, how much you have grown, how much you have become more fully yourself. Because I think in that process of exploration and reflection, you're going to notice that, like, damn, I've actually done so much. I've done so much. I've felt so much. I've been so much, and it's only getting brighter from here. So while like life is tough at times and shit happens and the world is in a really dark and disturbing place, there are so many opportunities for joy, and I think that this is really a call for you to seize those. Okay. Take care, humans. Bye.